We all know I don't really pay attention to the rules. Like, we had one nice day and they came out too. Hello, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. Also, welcome to my junky porch, which I have already cleaned one time this year already, but it is junky again. Anyway, we are outside today, y'all. We have so many beautiful days on the horizon for us. This whole week is gonna be beautiful. We don't have any freezing nights. We don't have anything, I don't think, under 40 at night this week. Like, it's just gonna be a beautiful week. And then the week after that, according to like the forecast, because I tried to look up a 30-day, it looked really good. Anyway, that's not why I'm doing what I'm doing today. I'm doing what I'm doing today, which I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing because I know that I can. I have done it before. So anyway, let me get my shoes on, which I've already been out here today. I've been out here for quite some time this morning, just kind of getting things together and figuring out what I wanted to do. And so I'm gonna show y'all what I wanna do, and then we're gonna do some of that together. I actually have a lot that I wanna get done today. This is probably gonna be a 2-part video just because I'm gonna record pretty much everything I'm doing, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna take a while. It's also quite sunny out here, and so we're gonna have to take some breaks because I'm sure I'm gonna get a little bit warm. I am hydrating, I have some water, so we're gonna be drinking our water too, but I have a lot that I wanna get done today. Let me show you. First, I want to get my leek and potato soup green stalk planted out. Well, that's not the first thing we're gonna do. I'm just saying that's the first thing I'm telling you. So we're gonna have 2 levels of leeks, 2 levels of potatoes, and a level of celery at the bottom. So that's one thing I want to get done today. Celery likes cooler weather. Onions can live in cooler weather. I don't foresee us getting anything like we have been having, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I said onions, I meant leeks. And potatoes will stay in the ground and they'll sprout when it is time for them to sprout. We have pulled out any onions, leeks, shallots, and they're on the table out here. The celery is also out here. All of this has been in the Bootstrap Farmer greenhouse. Let's go in here, and all of the seedlings from inside are outside. If they have germinated, they're outside. It's like 90 something degrees in here, so I'm pretty sure they will be fine. Even the peppers are out here because, like I said, 90 some degrees in here. I think they'll be fine. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to take them in the house tonight. I don't know. The basil is also out here, and back there we got the saffron and the dahlias that's out here. So this is everything that would be using electricity in my house, and it is not, because it's going to get its light from the sun for the next few days for sure. Also put water into the 10 by 20 trays just to make sure that everything is watered well so that nothing dries out while it's out here. This is what we have left that is spring, and I am taking some time to figure out, can this go out too? I'm pretty sure the cilantro and dill would be fine to go out. Not sure about the lupin, not sure about the ranunculus back there. And the thyme, I'm sure it would be fine. I just wanted to get a little bit bigger. But also, look at the things in the greenhouse, y'all. It's looking really, really good. I'm very happy to have this greenhouse this year. I am also thinking that we got to find somewhere for these citrus to go. I want to put a table over there so that I'm not bending over to pick up these seedlings when I bring them out here, or to put them down, whichever. But anyway, I'm very happy to have this greenhouse this year. It is really working out for me. And this greenhouse is from Bootstrap Farmer. If you've been here for a while, you already know that I absolutely love this greenhouse. And I want to take a minute to thank Bootstrap Farmer for sponsoring this video. One of the things that I am so happy about this year is that I was able to get my spring garden out at a decent time, even though we had ice on the ground, and it would have set me back greatly if I did not have this greenhouse. This is a hobby greenhouse from Bootstrap Farmer. It is a 10 by 12. If you have never heard of Bootstrap Farmer, it is a company of farmers, of homesteaders, urban homesteaders, microgreen growers who knew what we need. They know what we need because they are doing the same thing we are doing. They are building sturdy trays. Those are the trays that I just showed you. Sturdy pots. They are made in the US. They're gonna last you for a while, and they have beautiful colors, which I actually really like having all of the colors, and not just for the way that they look. They can actually help with your organization when you're starting seeds. Like last year, I didn't actually label all of my seedlings. I put a lot of the same seeds in the same color pots. Now, it didn't work for me because I moved move the pots, not thinking about it. But it's a good way to organize your plants without having to label each and every one of them. So I really like that. And so that's one of the products that they make. One of the products that I really like. I just started using their 72 cell trays. Love them. Ordered some more. They came earlier this week. I can't wait to plant my plants that I'm only starting 2 weeks away from my last frost, because that should be the one and only place I have to plant them, and it won't take up a lot of space. I'm really liking those. And I forget to tell y'all a lot of the time that these beautiful purple bags, which are my favorite color, are also from Bootstrap Farmer. They have these, I'm pretty sure, in purple. I think they come in red, blue, yellow. Just wanted to let y'all know about that as well. If you are looking for sturdy seed starting trays that's gonna last you for a while, if you're looking for a greenhouse that's more like a hoop house, and I've always wanted one that's like a hoop house, so I really love it. If you are looking for all things gardener, homesteader, grower, check out Bootstrap Farmer. There's gonna be a link down in my description, and I want to thank Bootstrap Farmer once again for sponsoring this video. But also, the other thing we're gonna do today is plant the potatoes in the Bootstrap Farmer bags. So I have them outside. They have chitted really well, most of them. So these are potatoes that I had planted last year, but they didn't really produce and they didn't break down or whatever. So I just took them out of the soil and put them in here. These are potatoes that I harvested from growth last year, but they didn't chit a lot and they really don't look that good anyway. So probably don't want to use them. But we have a blue variety here. We have a red Nolan here, Kennebec right here, and a Yukon Gold. And we are going to cut these. I was gonna cut them early and let them scab over. I didn't get around to it, so we're not gonna do that. Well, we're not gonna let them scab over, but we are gonna cut. So if there's an eye, we're just gonna cut that eye off, and I'm probably gonna plant 2 eyes to a bag this year. But something like this, I'll plant this potato because it's so small, but we're gonna do that together. The other thing that we are going to do today is plant out our calendula. Calendula can take a frost, which is why I'm gonna plant it out. Also, I had planned for these to go in another bed, but calendula, once it gets really big, it starts to fall over. So I thought this is actually a great place to put it because I already have a barrier. So we're gonna put our calendula in this bed. We're also planting out chamomile today. Chamomile and calendula grow better in the cooler temperatures. And so with that being said, I wanna get them out as early as I can. They also can take a light frost. And so like I said, I do not think that we are going to get like a really hard frost. If we do, I'll have to deal with it then, but I don't think that we will. Those things can be planted out and they can take a light frost. I am only planting out things that can take a light frost. You're not gonna see me planting tomatoes or peppers or anything like that because I am sure we're not past our last frost. My last frost is actually the first week of April. I'm pretty sure of that. So we won't be doing anything like that. And the other thing, sorry about my shadow, that we're gonna plant out today are the snapdragons. And so I'm pretty excited about that. This is all I'm gonna put in the snapdragon hole. I'm not actually going to amend this flower bed. I get so much runoff in this bed that I really think it's a waste of my resources. So I am going to amend the hole that I'm planting it in. I'm not amending the whole bed, y'all. So we'll see how that goes. And I do have a bag of black cow. It was over there in that greenhouse. So I will use some black cow in the hole that I'm planting it in, but I'm not going to amend the entire bed. And so that's what I plan to get done today. And hopefully tomorrow we can move on to something else, like finish amending the green stalks, amending these garden beds. Although with the garden beds, I have used all of my rabbit manure. I'm sure it will be replenished within the next week, so we might have to wait on that. I want to use rabbit manure for the larger planting spaces. So these bags have rabbit manure in it. Oh, we also have to amend these 4 bags right here because we're also planting potatoes in these bags. So we need to amend those. We are out of rabbit manure, so probably just gonna use bone meal. And I might put a little bit of black cow in the bag considering we don't have the nitrogen from the rabbit manure. But let's get started, y'all. I think I want to start with the chamomile and the calendula. I think this bed is going to be really pretty when everything starts to grow. Something is moving, y'all. It's probably a lizard. I've already started seeing lizards too this week. That's exciting. I don't mind having lizards in my garden. I really don't. So yeah, we're going to start with the chamomile and the calendula. You know what else I'm thinking about trying this year is not amending the whole bed. So I pretty much amend my soil every time I plant. I will amend the whole bed every time I plant. But I don't know that I need to do that every season. Maybe I do it at fall each year, or I don't know. I just feel like I don't know if I'm over amending, if that makes sense. Let's see. Maybe we'll try that with this bed right here with the calendula and chamomile, and we'll just do the holes instead of doing the entire bed. But I'm pretty sure I am gonna amend the larger beds, the 2 block beds, just because we grow a lot of heavy things in those beds all year long. And if you remember, I don't think in summer this bed did well because we had those watermelon in it. The watermelon didn't do nothing. For this bed, I'm just gonna amend the hole and plant out these plants. So calendula and chamomile are both used for the flowers. I wanna grow the flowers of the calendula for skincare, so it can be used medicinally. I use mine for skincare, but the flowers also can be used for a tea. I've never tried the tea. I want it for skincare. We have what, 12 all together? So we're gonna put the 12 across the front, and the chamomile we're just gonna sew across the back. I want a lot of chamomile. It is supposedly good medicinally to calm you. It's good for anxiety. If you are not new here, you know that I struggle with anxiety. So I wanna grow calendula for that reason, and I wanna grow chamomile for the reason that I just told you. Because we're growing them for flowers, I'm gonna use bone meal in this hole, but I'm also going to put a granulated fertilizer in the hole as well. It's just an organic granulated fertilizer. It says for tomatoes and vegetables. I'm sure it'll be just fine for herbs as well. This is something that I picked up from Home Depot. It was on sale for like $3 or some change. So I said, listen, it is worth the purchase. That's what we are going to do. I forgot gloves, y'all. Anyway, I'll get them on the next planting. There are so many other things I could be doing that is more preppy for the garden, but I really wanted to plant. Also, those plants that are in the greenhouse, the peppers, the basil, all of that, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna leave them outside overnight. We're not getting down to like anything low. When I say outside, I'm gonna leave them in the greenhouse. I always say outside, but I really mean in the greenhouse. This week anyway, just gonna let them stay out there in the greenhouse. I'm gonna show y'all the roots. These are the 4-cell trays. Look at those roots, y'all. Look at them. I mean, they beautiful. These are the Bootstrap Farmer trays. You get really good root system. You don't have any kind of spiraling, and we started these quite a while ago, if you remember. Like, beautiful root system. We're gonna just drop it down in here. I don't plant them any deeper than they are in the cell or tray that they were in or pot. I plant them the same depth. Also, I purchased neem oil, y'all. There are aphids on here, and somebody was telling me that calendula is a good trap crop. I don't want to use my calendula as a trap crop, and I know the person also said that it doesn't affect the flowers, and that's fine. But for me, I like the way the calendula plant looks, and I want the flowers to be intact. I don't want to have to really clean them. Even if it doesn't affect them, they're gonna be on them, and I don't want to have to like really fight them. So with that being said, I did get some neem oil. Like, a lot of my stuff has aphids on it, and some people have said that it's from bringing them outside and taking them back in. These plants ain't been outside, y'all. That's the thing. Like, they haven't been outside. I think somebody said excess nitrogen from fish emulsion, and I think someone said from worm castings. Didn't use none of that. Didn't use none of that. So what I will say is I didn't clean these pots from last year when I also had aphids. So it could be possible that I really should clean my pots. And y'all, if you're not new here, you know that's not something that I really focus on. But this year, I think that I am gonna focus on cleaning my pots because I honestly don't know where the aphids came from. I haven't a clue where they came from this year because I didn't use fish emulsion. If you remember, I said we weren't gonna use fish emulsion this year. I definitely didn't use any worm castings unless it was already in the soil that I used. Maybe I should look at that. Again, I got no idea where these aphids came from. What I do know is I'm not fighting them this year. So I got 2 in. We gonna just keep going. I would imagine I'm planting these maybe 6 inches apart. I do intense planting, if you're not new here, because I don't have a lot of space. So the spacing that you might see on the packaging or you might see somebody else use, you may not see me use because I don't have a lot of space, and I have had success just kind of putting them in where they have a little bit of space, but they still can grow. Now, I do use the square foot method for like my tomatoes and peppers and things like that. And my beans, I use the square foot method, which tells me how many plants I can put in 1 square foot. But for stuff like this, yeah, I just kind of eyeball it, plant it out, and it normally works really well. All right, take this last one. And chamomile, I normally get like really good flushes by planting them out so early. Can't remember when I started these. Maybe at 8 or 10 weeks I started these plants, just because I knew that they were gonna go out with my spring planting. They would have been out earlier, but I couldn't plant in these beds because they were frozen solid. But we are able to plant out now. I am trying to label things, keep labels this year so that I can know what did well. Like, look at those roots, y'all. I mean, just look amazing. They look beautiful, beautiful. And we're gonna water these in real good too once we done. All right, I'm gonna put y'all in speed up mode and we're gonna move along. Okay, so we have 1 calendula left. I'm sure we can find somewhere to throw that. Matter of fact, in one of the green stalks. Now, we're gonna move over to our chamomile. Now, this chamomile self-sows. So what I'm hoping for is that this bed ends up being chamomile every year from now on. If you remember, we have the grapevine over top of this. Most things just don't grow very well over here, and I think it's because the grapevine shades it. This may actually help the chamomile and the calendula to last a little bit longer. So we're putting chamomile and calendula. We're putting a whole bunch of chamomile over here. Whichever one survives, survives. I'm sure they will be planted way too close to each other because I have a whole bunch of chamomile. So we will see how this goes. But right now, we're gonna plant this out. I'm gonna do the same thing. We have a few roots hanging out the bottom, so it's ready to go. But I'm gonna do the same thing, throw a little bit of bone meal and some granulated fertilizer in the hole, and we're gonna plant it out, and hopefully come like early spring or mid-spring, we'll just be able to harvest a whole bunch of chamomile, and that is what I'm hopeful for, y'all. I'm so excited to be out here. I know y'all gonna say, we know. I'm so excited to be out here. So these are in the 3.3-inch pots. They grow really well. Like, this is where I go second. When I originally plant out my seedlings, most of the times I plant out in the 6-cell trays. And then once they are ready, they come over into the 3.3. And for the most part, this is where they stay. I don't have to pot them up again. Love that. Chicken made an odd noise. I was just making sure it wasn't nothing over there, child. I'm still making sure. I do not have time to be. There's the root systems on that. Very nice. And gonna drop it in. Now, my calendula, I actually started outside in a 6-cell tray. Like, I left the tray outside with a humidity dome over it. There was a bunch of other stuff out there. Because chamomile benefits from cold stratification. So instead of putting it in my refrigerator or my freezer or, doing winter sowing, technically I did do winter sowing, just not in the jugs. I just put it outside on my back porch under humidity dome, and all of that calendula that you see, that's where it came from. Like winter sowing essentially outside in the Bootstrap Farmer trays. If you want to give that a try, it actually worked really well for me. I got a whole bunch of calendula and probably don't have enough space for most of it. But I'm gonna be honest, we gonna find a space because I want all of this chamomile. And I've grown it in bags before. It grows pretty good in bags too. But I'm really just hoping that it re-sows itself so that I don't have to plant it every year. And if I need to come and take some of this straw off, I will. Hey, what she do? Because you kicking her out the house. My goodness, what you do, puppy? She kicking you out. My daughter kicking the dog out. All I heard was, get out. She can be obnoxious sometimes, though. I ain't gonna lie. Anyway, let's get this chamomile in here. I'm kind of doing like 2, 1, then 2, then 1. Hopefully, that'll get us a good amount of space. And we can get us a good amount of chamomile in this space. And we will have 1 garden bed planted. Also, middle of the day, I think it's probably 1 o'clock or so. Not the best time to be planting out. But I think this morning, it was like 40-something. 40-something is not warm to me. I'm out here doing it now. But it's not the best time. It's better to do it when it's overcast. I'm sure if you watch any other garden videos, you have seen that. It's better to plant when it's overcast. Late in the evening or towards the evening is better, because you then have the nighttime that's gonna be dark. But we all know I don't really pay attention to the rules. And most times it works out just fine. So, are you planting yet? Where are you? I know a lot of people are still under snow, but I know a lot of people say they are living through me. So, figure I would go ahead and show y'all what I was doing out here today. And if you are planting, what are you planting? I know in Florida, shoot, I know in Texas, y'all got y'all whole gardens planted out. I was watching Helen H, I think is her name now. She was plant-based Helen. She got her whole garden almost pretty much planted out, tomatoes and everything. I was like, I'm jelly. But we getting there soon. We'll be there soon. But I was like, man, like they got everything planted out. Oh, and as it relates to the neem oil, I'm not using it right now, right away. I'm gonna wait and see what the ecosystem does. But especially on them peppers, if the peppers are really struggling, we going in with neem oil quick, y'all. I'm not joking. Like, I cannot fight them this year. And last year, I fought them all season long. Out of nowhere in the fall, they just disappeared. But they was here all summer. But they just disappeared in the fall. I didn't do anything to make them disappear. But I don't think I got it in me this year to fight them all summer and wait for my harvest until the end of the year. I don't want to. Okay, we haven't even hit the actual tray of chamomile, y'all. Crazy work. That's crazy work. It's also a hollyhock down here, so I don't know how that's gonna work, but we'll see. And I'm just pushing the straw back and planting in case you are interested in like, what do I do? Can y'all see? I think you could at a point, but in case you're interested in how I plant with the straw. And the straw is from Tractor Supply. It's called Straw Balls. Quite a few people ask me. I am going to continue to mulch in the summer. I think that it was very helpful in the fall and last year. Also, seeing some worms in here. We love that. Worms are good for your garden. So we love that. Go ahead and get this done. And I need to make a note that I didn't fully amend this bed too, because I'm very interested to see, like, do I need to amend completely every season, or can I do it every other season, if that makes sense? Because this is a spring planting pretty much, because it's not gonna go all the way through the summer. So let me put you in speed up mode, like I said about the calendula, and then I shall be back. All right, so we got one calendula left. Well, one chamomile left, one calendula left. We're going to go put these in a herb green stock. These are both considered herbs. All right. So if you remember, this is being turned into a herb green stock. I want oregano and thyme up here, I think. Oregano, thyme, and sage for sure up here. Actually, oregano, thyme, sage. So we will do a calendula here. Like I said, I'm not going to do too much amending to this because it didn't grow much. I just set it up last year. So we're going to put our extra calendula in here. Go ahead and drop this back. Not all of it, just a little bit. And we'll put the chamomile right beside it. So we only have this one side to turn right now. Or actually, not even to turn, to leave in the sun. Now, I do not know if this would be great for this chamomile. It's the shorter pockets, but we're gonna see what happens. And this chamomile was dry, so definitely gonna need the water. But I'm interested to see if that'll grow in here, how well it'll do. Because chamomile can get kind of big. But we're gonna see. Gonna give it a try. All right, that is planted out, and we about to move on. I think we're gonna move on to the snapdragons, which is a great flower to put out now because you'll get early blooms in spring. And snapdragons are beautiful flowers, y'all. I say it all the time. If you're not new here, you know I always say it. They beautiful flowers, y'all. Okay, so let me explain the flower bed to y'all this year. My flower bed is on a horrible slope, right? I get a lot of runoff. I'm not gonna put a whole bunch of resources in this bed, like I said. I still do get good growth from over here, but I just don't see the need to be putting all that stuff in there when half of it's gonna run off at this end. We are gonna put some black cow in the hole, bone meal in the hole, and we are gonna put some granulated fertilizer in the hole over here. We are only planting snapdragons snapdragons down the front side. Normally I fill this with snapdragons, but I'm planning to put my dahlias and my zinnias, a good amount of dahlias and zinnias, in the back end of this bed this year too. The amount of snapdragons we planted is a pretty good amount. We still have a for sale tray of them, and I'll just find somewhere to put them, maybe in the back of these 2 block beds. I don't know, but yeah, that's the plan. Snapdragons across the front. They'll be beautiful for the spring, and then when it's time to plant for summer, we'll be doing dahlias and zinnias, probably asters too. We didn't get a lot of asters, unfortunately, but they're beautiful. But some of those flowers, they'll still be mixed in over in the garden beds as well. But flower bed is gonna be full of beautiful flowers that hopefully I can cut and take in the house this summer. All right, let's get this show on the road. I think I need a little more of this. I do. I have more bags up on the porch, but we'll go ahead and start planting out. Now, I did not cut these. So you can cut these and like chop right here, and then they'll grow more bushy than straight up. In my experience though, they end up being bushy at a point anyway. So I didn't do that. I do have one that I made a mistake and I broke, and it pretty much did that on its own. I feel like either way, it's gonna end up being bushy, y'all. Also, one thing you might not know if you're new here, this bed was rocks. It was a bed of rocks. I purchased my home from my grandmother. She had white rocks in pretty much all of her garden beds. And so I didn't feel like actually digging the rocks up. So I just put some cardboard down and threw some soil on it. And I have been planting this way ever since. Probably wasn't my best idea, but it is what I did. And so far it's been okay. Still grows things. And I've grown snapdragons in this flower bed a bunch of times and they've never had a problem. So I think we'll be fine. And again, snapdragon, actually, I think I've said it before, I could have gotten these out in fall. They would have went all the way through the winter. We wouldn't have had flowers, but the plant would have survived. And then in early spring, we would have gotten some flowers. Hopefully the same thing happens with me planting them at basically the end of winter as well. So let me run and get some more of this off of the porch and I will be right back. Would y'all believe the flowers is already out here? Like, baby, what? Like, we had one nice day and they came out too. We don't love that for me. It's okay. I'm not gonna complain because I'm just happy to be outside. I will not be complaining about that. I think these are snapdragons that I saved seeds for. I don't know which ones they are, but I feel like it's probably those burgundy ones because I don't think I had great success with the other ones that were in the refrigerator. I don't think I had great success with germination. Either way, beautiful flowers. So I am actually done with seed starting until 2 weeks from my last frost. I don't have anything that I sow at 4 weeks, but if you remember, I did not plan for the green stalks to be empty, some of those green stalks to be empty. So we will have to start some seeds once I actually figure out exactly what is gonna go in there. We will have to start some more seeds. And the good thing is it's not too late. It's not too late for me to start peppers or tomatoes. So I could start them or I could go to some store when they start to put them out and buy them. Have not decided yet, but we do have some more that we have to plan for. Look how pretty that is. I mean, it's beautiful. Just came out beautiful, y'all. I will say one thing this year is a lot of my soil is much more workable. Like, it's not hard. I am happy to see it. I'm also very interested to see what the block bed soil looks like. When I was pulling the plants out of it, it looked really good. And someone reminded me to take the plastic from out the bottom. I'm gonna tell you right now, if that soil is good in there, I'm not digging it out to take the plastic out. I did tell y'all to remind me, but if that soil is good, when it's time for me to amend it and it's not like hard and stuff, which was my main concern, was that it was like compacted. And I was like, why is it happening? But if it's not like that when it's time for me to plant out, I'm not gonna worry about it. Because if you know me, like I think you know me, I'm doing everything the easy way. But yeah, if you're new here, my block beds have actual plastic bags from the grocery store under them. I didn't know any better. So if you are just now starting out and you do something that you didn't know any better, just remember, my block beds have actual plastic grocery bags under the soil. I saw it on something when I was getting started and I was like, oh, that'll work because it'll keep the weeds out. Girl, a mess. And we talked about this before. Before we talk about the toxicity of that, just remember, soil comes out of a plastic bag. Oh, Lord, I can feel the rocks up under there. Don't dig too much deeper, girl. put this plant in here and call it a DIY. That's another reason why this is a flower bed because I know there's rocks under here. There's no point in me wasting vegetable seedlings to try to grow anything in this section because I know it's rocks under it. What's your favorite early spring flower? My favorite is gonna be these snapdragons. What's yours? I'm just interested because I don't know that I know of many others, if I'm honest. I mean, I know calendula, but I consider that a herb. That's on a whole slant, y'all. Whole slant, whole tilt. Also, I do think putting the straw down did help a little bit with some of the runoff and erosion of the soil. Girl, look like my battery about to go dead on this camera. I don't think that's ever happened before. Let me put you in speed up mode so we can move on to something else. All right, so our snapdragons, our nice healthy looking snapdragons are out in the garden, in the flower bed. Cannot wait to see them. I mean, they're just so good. They look so good, y'all. And this is the one I was telling y'all had broke when I was transplanting it. And so it just started to grow new shoots out of the side. So that can happen with snapdragons. That's a plus, thank goodness. Basically, it was this tall, it broke, then it started growing out of the sides, like those sides you see right there. Hope you can see them right there. That's what it did. So this one should be pretty bushy, but like I said, they all pretty much get bushy. Now there's a hollyhock already up here. There's dahlias that were here last year, so I'm hoping those come back because there's 2 hollyhocks. There should be 2 dahlias up there. There's a sedum down here too. There's another plant, I can't think of the name, but it's a native plant that comes up right here. Echinacea comes up right here, so that's why we have space in between these two. But there isn't anything that's perennial back here, and maybe I need to work on that. But it doesn't look like much now, y'all, but it will be nice soon. Oh, and I did not show y'all the other bed fully planted out yet either, so let me show you that real quick. Also, my camera is going dead, so we're probably gonna cut this video here for today. I'm gonna let my camera charge. I'm also gonna continue to work, and then I will see y'all Friday. But let me show you. This is our calendula and chamomile bed. I think it looks so good, and I hope that it's gonna be like a bed full of greenery and pretty yellow, white flowers. I think some of the calendula is pink as well. There's also a hollyhock in here. I think I said that. They get pretty big. Don't know how this is gonna work out. There's walking onions at the end of the bed too. So this should be amazing. I'm so excited, y'all, to be out here, to be planting. I'm so excited. I also think this is a much better use of this bed than what I was trying to use it for. But I also think that I will be able to plan out for fall a little bit earlier in this bed because this bed is gonna clear out kind of early too. And what I'll probably do is just plant some beans because beans produce pretty quickly. Once these come out, my next sowing in this bed will be beans because they happen pretty quickly. But anyway, we planted our flowers, y'all. We planted our herbs. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram where I post about the things going on in my garden almost every day. Bye, y'all.